So what happens when you put the co-founder of 38 Special with the lead singer of Lynyrd Skynyrd? You get Brothers Van Zant.
We've always had faith. Now are we sinners? Yeah, we've been big time sinners in our life, and but we kept coming back to God. There's a song on the CD called "Praying," and it's all about that. You know what? You can win the world and lose your soul. What do you have?
I'm David Sams, and this is CIA, Contagious Influencers of America. Today, joining me are two Southern rock icons, and I'm talking Donnie Van Zant, co-founder of 38 Special, and Johnny Van Zant, lead singer for Lynyrd Skynyrd. Now, they've come together to release a Jesus album titled Always Look Up, now available wherever you get your music. Of course, 38 Special has sold something like 20 million albums, and Lynyrd Skynyrd, well, they continue to sell out arenas and amphitheaters all across America and around the world. As lead singer of Lynyrd Skynyrd, Johnny stepped in for his older brother Ronnie to fill his shoes when Ronnie's plane went down many, many years ago. We're going to talk about that and so much more. So let's get to my interview with Donnie and Johnny Van Zant. Hey guys, welcome to the homestead, man.
Hello.
Yeah,
Thank
man,
you.
great place here.
What brings you to this part of the world?
We are pushing our new
Yes.
Christian CD.
Yeah, definitely.
called
Comes
Always-
out Friday, November the 22nd. So
Always Look Up.
always look up.
So pushing your Christian CD, did you ever think you'd be saying that?
No, but you know what? We were hoping someday, because it's been on our bucket list. And you know what? During COVID, we were shut down, and you know what? God just put it on us to write these songs, and we probably have about 3 Christian albums that we could do. And but these were the ones that we picked out for this one, and it's been an amazing trip so far.
So let's talk about how you got here. First of all, for those who have lived under a rock for many years, let's talk a little bit about your family and the legacy and just the history. Let's go back to the beginning.
Okay.
All right. And let's talk about where you grew up and talk about your family life when you were kids.
Yeah, we grew up on the west side of Jacksonville.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
we grew up. Our dad was a truck driver, ex-Navy. Mom was pretty much a housewife, and
Worked at Dunkin' Donuts.
yeah, she later on in life, and but we were raised very simple but rich in family. And actually, whenever you asked us, did we ever think? But our dad, we'd be making a Christian album. Our dad should have been a preacher. He knew the Bible back and forth, and as kids, he would make us listen to it, and as grown-ups, and you didn't get up at all whenever Daddy was preaching. You didn't get up. And, we've always had faith. Now are we sinners? Yeah, we've been big-time sinners in our life. And but we kept coming back to God. There's a song on the CD called Praying, and it's all about that. You know what? You can win the world and lose your soul. What do you have? And you know what? We're so proud to have this coming out. We're kind of like kids at Christmas, to be honest. We really are.
I gotta tell you, him talking about that, kids at Christmas, it was pretty cool. I like to read the comments, people, sending in, and we've had 2 churches that the directors of music, have actually taken a couple of these songs and are playing it at their church now.
Yeah.
So it was exciting for us.
Yeah, what a great thing for us.
Songs that we wrote,
So when you guys were, first of all, there were, 3 of you?
Yeah.
Any other siblings I should know about?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's 3 other sisters.
3 sisters.
Yeah, 3 sisters.
3
So
brothers,
6
3
of us.
sisters.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we always
And how did
do.
that work out?
Oh, it worked out good. Hey, I'm the baby of the family. I didn't have many places to sleep, but again, we were raised really not. We wasn't rich. We were rich in family, but looking back on it, we never went without food. We had clothes and stuff, and it's been a pretty amazing trip to come this far. And like I said, we were talking about praying. It's all about that whole trip that we've taken.
So when you were growing up, at what point did you say, you know what, we want to be musicians?
You know what, I just speak for myself, is that I remember Lynyrd Skynyrd when they were called the 1%, and they rehearsed in my mother and father's home. So for me, it was sort of looking at my big brother Ronnie and going, man, he looks like he's having a lot of fun here. So maybe I can do that. So it started from that.
Yeah,
and myself, to be like big brother.
Yeah, myself same way. I always consider us like a family of carpenters or whatever, lawyers, and we all just fell in line. But honestly, talking about our background, we had an old swing set outside, and back then there was only 4 channels on TV. 2 of them had a Hee Haw and the Ed Sullivan Show on, and Wild Kingdom and the Wonderful World of Disney, and I could still remember that. That's unbelievable. And you know what? We didn't have all these channels these kids do today, so we would be out singing. Music filled our time. And we'd go, our dad ended up being a truck driver, long distance truck driver, and we'd go on a truck with him, listen to Merle Haggard and George Jones and all those great country stars.
But it was great, man. I mean, I don't really think our parents cared what we did, as long as we were happy and as long as we did the best we could.
Yeah.
So your brother, Ronnie, was co-founder of Lynyrd Skynyrd. So was he the first one that really got into the music scene?
Oh,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Definitely.
And then you guys followed.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Uh-huh.
And did your parents think that was a good idea?
Not our mother.
Not our mother.
Our mother was like, when you guys getting a real job?
Our dad was really into it. I think if he had a guitar and we could be his roadies, you know.
And we always said if our dad could play really good and sing great, we'd be his road crew.
Yeah.
But he loved it, and our mother just kind of was like, you boys, what are you kids doing with your life?
When you gonna get a real job?
So combined between the both of us, and if you put Ronnie in there, there's a big history. It's over 100 years of music.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the sisters never want to be backup singers.
No. You know what? They could sing though. They can sing. It was funny though. They married 3 of them. Married guys named Bill. So whenever any kind of family thing, we would always be like Bill Hodge, Bill Grant, Bill Marsh, because if you said Bill, everybody turned around, what? But they could sing. They could sing, but they ended up being housewives and having different careers.
My sister Marlene could sing real well.
Yeah.
She was real good.
So Donnie, you were with 38 Special. You were one of the co-founders, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And what was that like? I mean, what an iconic group! What an iconic legacy you have with all that.
Yeah, it was great. I was there 40 years with 38 Special, and I had to retire after 40 years. I have inner nerve damage, so if I take the hearing aids out, I probably wouldn't hear you very well.
You'd be like, what?
But it was a great time, man. I mean, it was great. Completely great, to do all of that. We sold, 20 million records, nothing to laugh about,
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. And what was it about that world that was just addictive? Tell me, I want a real story now, all right? Give me a real story.
Addictive?
Yeah.
Oh, how many?
Are you talking about the girls or the drugs?
No, yeah. I was going to say, was that a Jack Daniels bottle or what?
I mean, with me, I just love playing live. I'll be true with you. My favorite part of being on the road was walking up that step to the stage and watching these people sing their songs. And sometimes they were so vocal that you didn't even feel like you needed to sing, Pretty cool.
And when you had to give all that up because of your, inner
ear nerve damage.
Okay. Was that a process over a period of time, or did you just wake up one night and bam?
You know what? I was just told I needed to change my lifestyle, So I did. I didn't want to lose no more hearing. It was pretty bad, But it took me a while. I mean, just to come off the road. I got off the road very quickly, so I really didn't know what to do with myself, But I will tell you, I had the best looking yard in the neighborhood. You know?
Gave you something to do.
Something. And I love fishing too, but I got tired of that too.
So when you all lost your brother, he died in a plane crash?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
77.
In 77. Tell me about that moment and how that hit you. And I know Johnny, you carried on his legacy.
Yeah.
As the lead singer of the group.
Yeah.
But tell me about that day.
Oh.
When you got that phone call.
Yeah, no, I can tell you, with 38 Special was working on our second record. And I had a couple of friends come out. We had a place down on Riverside Avenue in Jacksonville, Florida, where Skynyrd rehearsed and 38 rehearsed. And a couple of friends came in and said, Donnie, you need to get home quick to your mother and father's home. And they didn't even tell me what happened, you know. So I got there and I heard the plane had went down. I went, oh my gosh, you know. But, you know, it just blew us all away, you know. The later it got, you sort of knew the worse it was going to be for Ronnie anyway.
Yeah, they kept calling. We kept getting bits and pieces of information. It was, ironically, Ronnie, most of the time, our brother Ronnie, didn't wear shoes. Very simple person. I mean, really was. Never carried a wallet. So, you know, and as it went ahead on during the night, we kept saying, well, can't identify different people. And we went, yeah, he's one of them. Because, you know, they'd never carried a wallet. So, but for me personally, I was working with my dad. I was, 17, 18 years old, you know, and we were working out in the yard. And back then, it's real safe around our neighborhood. We had a screen door, you know, so phone rang and my dad heard it and said, hey, run in and see who it was. And as I was coming in, the news was on, and I remember looking at the TV and seeing something about a plane crash, and I answered the phone. It was Skynyrd's old manager, Alden Walden, who from Macon, Georgia. And he said, hey, have y'all heard of Skynyrd had a plane crash? And I was like, oh my God. So I hollered for my parents. And then after that, I'll be honest with you, for me, and I think your brain works in different ways, a lot of it's a blur at that point. But, you know, as far as a family, it really tore our family apart. You know, anytime a great loss like that, not only was he our brother, but we knew all the band members. They all grew up in a little neighborhood on the west side of Jacksonville making this music. And I mean, it just went famous and boom. And then, so we were concerned about, you know, Gary and Alan and Leon and Billy, you know. I mean, it was a big family. As to today, Skynyrd's still a family, you know, it's a big family. So it's something that you don't really ever get over, you know, you just learn how to live with it.
And let me talk about some of the hurdles you faced in life. And, you know, you said once before you've lived a life full of sin, as we all have.
Yeah.
How did you identify that as being sin as opposed to just a good time? At what point did that hit you?
I can tell you this, I never thought about Jesus or God, you know. I was living for myself, you know, and if anybody got in my way, I pushed them out of the way, you know. And so I figured that was pretty much a sin, you know, because godly people love each other and try to care about each other and try to look after each other.
And we both just have such strong faith.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. And I'm talking about from a young age.
Yeah.
And it was from Daddy reading that Bible.
And, you know, looking back on it, when things are going great and you're living the high life, you don't think to stop and say, Lord, thank you for all these blessings, you know. And when you finally realize that you need to, you know. And again, with this album, we're not trying to preach to nobody. You know, we're not preachers by no means. But we, you know, we're trying to live a little better nowadays and look at our fellow man in a different way, you know.
And then let me go to something that I know you don't really like to talk about, but that is your daughter. And what happened to her.
Yeah.
And the impact that had on you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. For me personally, losing a child is not a club that you want to be in. And Lindsay was my oldest one. And, you have to fall back on your faith, because it's a hard thing. And you get mad at God. You start thinking, well, why is this happening, And God don't put this terrible diseases on earth, It's created a long time ago by somebody, not him, because his children, he loves his children, and he wants us to come to him. But I really leaned on, there's a song on here called Awesome God that we're coming to the Christian radio after the first of the year. And it really describes how God took over me,
It does.
And put his power, Once Jesus gets on you, brother, it ain't coming off. It's the best armor, you could possibly have.
The song really is written about Johnny, if you want to know the truth. Johnny was having a hard time. I think Lindsay at the time was having a bone marrow, and it didn't take, and it was one of the last things they were going to do for her, But I called Johnny out in the middle of his yard, and he was actually hollering at God, And I can remember telling him that this is not God, brother, And as soon as I said it to him, he completely, I'm talking about being mad, completely became so calm.
Yeah, something come over me.
It
was
did.
Jesus.
And I watched him from that. He actually joined a church, got saved, and got baptized.
It's
after
a pretty
that.
amazing trip. It really is. And hey, you know what? It was a terrible storm, and you never get over that too. You learn how to live with it. I'm going through it right now. My youngest daughter is sick, and believe me, I've asked myself why us, but there's so many other people going through hard times, And I'll be honest with you, the way I kind of learned to deal with Lindsay passing, because we were big Christmas people. Our family's real big Christmas people. And that the first Christmas after she had passed, I was watching the news. I came in. I was out putting up Christmas decorations, and I live in Florida. It's hot. It's about 80-some degrees. I'm like, well, I don't even feel like doing this, but I'm doing it for the family, and I got grandkids too. And I've turned on the news, and right down the street from me, a lady and her grandmother and her 4-month-old child was hit in the rear end, and the kid passed away. And I thought to myself, why am I complaining? I had 35 years with her. You know what? I got to be grateful for those years. And and so things like these happen, and right now, like I said, my youngest is going through a hard time, and I'm leaning on the cross. We also have a song called Leaning on the Cross on this album.
But his younger daughter, Taylor, we got some good news yesterday.
Yeah, knock on wood.
So she's doing better.
Yeah. She has
Fantastic.
what they call a cavanoma, and you can be born with them, but it's a group of blood cells, and one of them, a month ago, started bleeding, and she started getting numb on her side, and we're still not out of the woods. I mean, the ocean is really stirred up, but you know what? We got good results yesterday from her doctor saying that if she has to have surgery, they got a way to go in, and her numbing's a little less, and it had shrank some. And about 2 months ago, I had never heard of the word cavanoma, and so now we're well versed on it. Believe me,
it's like a cluster of blood vessels.
Yeah,
Hers.
And you know what? When you try to do good in life. Our preacher told us this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You ready?
No, what?
Go ahead.
What? No, he said, you're going to come under attack.
You will.
When you try to spread the word of God, you come under attack. And boy, have I been under attack.
He told us to get ready.
Yeah.
And
he told us to get ready. Yeah. And
but he also taught us something else.
What's that?
When you get in a bad position,
say, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus.
We're okay.
So I've been saying that word a lot.
So you guys seem extremely close.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah.
You know
We're
what?
not only brothers, we're friends.
Yeah.
We're best friends.
It's like a bad rash. I can't get rid of
We use my line.
it. You get mine all the time. You know what? I think it started from when we lost our older brother, Ronnie, you know. I mean, we were both busy, me and Ronnie, and we really didn't get to see that much of each other. So after he passed, I told myself that I was going to get closer with Johnny, and
Same here.
we've been close ever since then.
You know what?
really.
Family means a lot, you know, and people forget that. It really does. It means everything, you know. And I got 2 friends of mine now, 2 Italian guys who are arguing over their mother's estate, and they're not speaking. I'm like, really? Really? You know, so it's crazy. One day, one of them's going to regret not speaking to each other.
That's right.
Yeah. So, do you ever look at each other and say, "I've had more hits and a better career than you've had"?
No. No, I look at him. Yeah. No, but he does go, I'm the better looking one. That's what he says to me.
By far.
I go, what mirror are you looking at?
You know what? We've just always been very supportive of each other, man.
Yeah.
I'm happy he's doing what he's doing. You know?
Same here. You know. And this is a dream come true to us. You know what? We did a couple of country records years back, and I think the last one was like 2008 or something like that. And he was still doing 38. I was doing Skynyrd, of course, and we were just so burnt out on music that we were like, God, this is way too much trying to have dual careers.
We were doing country at the time, too.
And you know what? So we've taken a hiatus, you know, making music together. So doing this one after all those years has been really gratifying.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a couple of the songs that you have on this album, and just tell me about those. What inspired them, and what they mean to you. The first one was "Always Look Up."
Now that's the name of the album. Yeah.
So tell me what inspired.
What inspired that? Mm-hmm. Oh wow. Well, I do a Sunday thing. Back in doing COVID, I was off 15 months, and I was wanting to reach out and see how our fans are, because I love our fans, you know. And my daughter Kristen said, "Why don't you do a post, Dad?" And I'm like, "What's a post?" You know? You mean put a post in the ground? What are you talking about? So I did one on Sunday, and I always started off with, you know, happy Sunday to you, God's Day. Every day's God's Day.
Yeah.
And then I'll either, you know, I'll say, how are you? I hope you're doing good. Or either I'll ask for prayer for certain people. And the way I always end it is, don't forget, always look up. He's there for you. And we were going to name this album Speak His Name. And our manager, Ross, called me up and said, "Why are you naming it Speak His Name?" I said, "Well, that's Jesus' name." You know? And he said, why don't you name it Always Look Up? And I went, why didn't I think of that? You know, and so that's the reason for it, you know. And truly, I mean, what else have we got? You know what I mean? We got to look up and go, come on, Lord, come on.
We call it a Jesus CD, brother. It's all about praise and,
you know, and then
now, did I hear the word CD?
CD,
Can you believe that?
Yeah.
And we even actually got LPs.
I know. You know what? That was one of the reasons why we went with the record label. They said, yeah, we want to make CDs and LPs. We went, hey, we're in. All right.
We just don't have nothing to play on.
You know what? But LPs have really come back, especially in Europe.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, people love them. And as us, God, that's what we dug about the music business when we were kids, you know, picking up the LP. And a double one? Oh, my Lord, we were in heaven, you know.
I'm probably the only guy that's keeping my car because there's a CD player in it.
There you go.
You're a smart man.
Yeah.
It'll be worse someday.
It won't be.
Right.
So the song There You Are, tell me about that.
There you are. Man, I was out in Oklahoma getting ready for a show, and I was in the bathroom. You know how acoustics sound in a bathroom. I'm just, I'm humming. And I started some of these lines, and, you know, I've been climbing on a mountainside, looking over the edge, and I had a few more lines, I think. And I called him up. And I said, man, I think I'm on to something here. He said, well, put it on voicemail and send it to me. So I did. But I'd also told him, I said, I don't have a chorus yet. I don't know where to go at.
Yeah.
You know, and I went and played the show, came back, and I had a message from him. Call me, I think I got something. So I did, and he had the whole chorus thing. And I was like, there you are. Yeah.
There you are.
Yeah.
There you are.
Yeah. So it happened, you know, just that quick. It really
But
did.
I call him the melody man here. I mean, this guy comes up with more melodies than what you can imagine.
Yeah,
You know?
I can't get all the words, but I got the melody right.
I can't keep up with him, you know. And I'm talking 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. He'll call you.
And then the first single's Jesus Christ depicts the crucifixion. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. You want to go?
Yeah, no. I mean, Johnny's got a little studio out in back of his home, and we were back there working, and he had a picture of Jesus, the crucifixion of Jesus. And that's really where the song started at then. You know?
Yeah. You know what? It hit us one night. We were back there at night, and it just hit us looking at the picture. And we were like, you know, hung him up on the cross.
Well,
They hung him up.
You started with the
Not me.
music with your broom.
Yeah. You know what? That's very true. I had a broom because I didn't have a guitar, and I started going boom, boom, because I was thinking, what would it be like to carry the cross?
So dark.
You know, and we thought, let's heavy it up a little bit. Mm-hmm. And it came very naturally. I mean, everything is true of the words. And we actually call it, or I do, our Freebird vocal-wise at the end, because if you hear the whole song, you think it kind of ends. And I've had so many people go, oh, that was nice. Then all of a sudden it comes back up. And it starts really, you know, glorifying Jesus and his resurrection. And you know what? Amazing song. It's done really well for us. We were scared to bring it out. We were like, well, you know, because we listen to Christian music. And we were like, that's kind of heavy for Christian music, you know, right away. And actually, the guy who got us involved with Frontier, Tom Lipsky, said, man, you ought to come out with this one. You know, this says it all. Mm-hmm. And we came out with it first one.
So looking back over your careers, have any regrets?
Do we have any regrets? For me, sometimes I wonder how, I don't think it's a regret, but I think Donnie does too. If Ronnie was over in that seat, what would we do? You know, what would we have done? And would it be called the Three Amigos, or you know, or the Three Stooges, or whatever?
That's scary to think about it.
Yeah.
We'd probably stay in trouble.
Yeah. But I think that would be something that I do often wonder about that. Where would we be, the three of us together?
Well, you know, with AI now, you could reinvent them.
Yeah.
You could bring them back.
Isn't that wild?
Isn't that crazy?
You know, with Skynyrd, we actually, if you come see a Skynyrd show, we actually use some of that. We took old footage of Ronnie and sync it together. And I sing like the first verse, and he sings the second verse where it goes into the fast parts. An amazing thing. The fans love it. And sometimes modern technology is really great.
So how long do you think that's going to continue?
What, with Skynyrd?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know yet. You know what? When Gary Rosendon passed about a year and a half ago, and he was the last original, you know. And but before he passed, he was like, man, Gary was so simple, you know. Traveled all over the world, done all these things, got more money than he ever wanted. But he was always be like, you know, messing with his hair. You know, he's, man, you know, the Allman Brothers are gone. Charlie's passed, you know, talking about Charlie Daniels. He says, I don't want Skynyrd to ever go. And, you know, he was the one who brought me in to the band. He called me, and we traveled many, many miles together, flew many miles together, went all over the world together. And he said, after I'm gone, because he had heart trouble, and he knew, you know, his time was limited. And he said, I don't want it to go away. So now I feel that, you know, I don't know how many more years. You asked that. I think I'm going to put that in God's hands. He'll let me know. but we got great fans, and they keep coming out. They keep coming out, and they love it, and it's multi-generational. I mean, I was telling somebody earlier, this year I played a show. We were out with ZZ Top and us were doing shows, the amphitheaters, and I come out on stage, and I love kids. You know, kids are everything to me. And so the first thing I spotted was a little kid about 4 years old with the big earphones on right in front of me. You know, and I'm looking over into the stage at him, and I'm like, and the kid was singing every word to the songs. I was like, what did these parents do? Usually it's, Mary Had a Little Lamb, or, You Are My Sunshine. This kid's going, won't you give me 3 steps? Give me, He was just rocking out. And I took a picture of him because I thought it was just the cutest thing in the world.
Thank God his parents put headphones on.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So, but, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I never say never. And to be honest, I figured my whole journey here on this earth is definitely God-driven, because I was a fan of the band and got to watch the band as a kid, too, and watch him. And I never dreamt that I'd be a part of Lynyrd Skynyrd in this position.
How many years now?
This year, coming up, will be 37.
Unbelievable.
Pretty amazing. Seems like 37 seconds. It really does.
So tell me what being a dad means to you.
I'm sorry?
What does being a dad mean to you?
Oh, everything. Everything. I would have been dead and in jail or something a long time ago if it wasn't for my kids. Really. That's the way I feel. Being a father. And
for me, I mean, thank God I did have a child, because I was a wild child,
Yeah.
And it took that happening for me to actually start to grow up
yeah.
and be a man,
Yeah.
I have a child here I got to take care of now. So it really helped me out a lot.
Yeah. For me, I had 4 daughters, so, and the one thing I do know is that you probably never liked their boyfriends. I can testify to that, but you grow to love their husbands. But being a father to me is my most accomplishment in life. It really is. I could do anything else, but that's the most
and
thing.
I can speak. He's a great dad.
Yeah, I'll go out of my way. I was telling somebody earlier, my daughter does these wedding events, and she's all into the antique stuff, anything antique-wise, because they take pictures out of them, the bride and groom and stuff. And she'll call me up sometimes. Hey, Dad, I found something on the side of the road. Will you bring your truck and pick it up? I'm like, I'll be there. If any of my kids call me, I'm going to be there. I love them dearly, and it's been God's most blessing to me.
And I'm ready to buy some of her stuff.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So what legacy do you hope to leave behind?
Wow.
You know what? I think for me, man, just that we've always just tried to sing songs about truth. And I said it to your wife earlier, that I actually lost my train of thought.
Right? That's called young timers.
That's called a senior moment.
Your legacy. Let me rewind it. Okay?
But writing songs about the truth, just wanting to touch people emotionally and spiritually, And if we can do that, we have a home run. That's all there is to it.
I think for me, surely the music, that's going to be part of it. That's the cool thing about being an artist, any kind of artist. You leave a piece of you after you're long gone. Mm-hmm. But it would have to be what I did for family, my kids, Hopefully all my kids go, boy, I sure miss him, and I loved him. Mm-hmm. And but music-wise, I would hope that if someone come and seen us live, that they seen that I gave 110, 20%, I didn't phone it in every night.
Well, thank you, Donnie and Johnny. Thanks for stopping by the homestead. And by the way, one more thing, I just realized so you're Donnie, Johnny, and Ronnie. Was that by design?
Yeah, I know.
We were destined to be songwriters.
And then, hey, listen, we have sisters Marlene and Darlene, and our oldest sister was Joanne. But we always kid. We say, Yeah, and there's cousin Bonnie, Lonnie, and Connie too.
But to be truthful with you, I don't think I was really ever called Donnie.
Yeah.
It was Johnny or Ronnie or
Yeah.
get over here now. You know?
Get over here.
Yeah, when our mother looked at us, we knew she was talking to one of us, even if she didn't call us by name.
Well, thanks so much for stopping by the
Thank you.
homestead.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure, man, and what a great place. You got it going
Beautiful.
on here.
Thank you. And thanks, Donnie. Thanks, Johnny, for stopping by the homestead. It's been great hanging with you. You guys are so great. And folks, do pick up a copy of their album or stream it. However you listen to your music these days, here's the actual CD. And I understand it's also available in vinyl as well. So it's what a cool cover that is. But do check it out. I'm sure it's streaming everywhere. Again, it's the Van Zants, and it's called Always Look Up. It's now available wherever you get your music. And please also check out their music videos on YouTube. They're really cool, and be sure to share those with your friends. Will you do that for me? This has been CIA, Contagious Influencers of America, from the producers of the #1 faith-based show in all of America, Keep the Faith. Please do rate and review us, and check out our websites. KeepTheFaith.com is our radio show website, where you're going to find all kinds of goodies. And, of course, for a look at all of our past episodes of Contagious Influencers, you can check out ContagiousInfluencers.com. That would be really cool if you do that for us, okay? And once again, rate and review us. Give us 5 stars. We would greatly appreciate it. Until next time, this is David Sams. Go out there and live that life in living color, because it sure is a heck of a lot more interesting than living it in black and white. I'll see you next time.